Hello, lightworkers, mystics, and witches, and welcome back to another episode of the Word Witch podcast. This is my fourth time trying to record this intro. I don't know what is happening, but my tech is not cooperating today. Anyway, let's just get into it. This episode I'm so excited to share with you today because I had the absolute honor to interview, in my opinion, real life earth angel Mariel Wilk. And if you don't know who Mariel is, I'm going to introduce you and put you on her work, which is absolutely going to change your life. She is amazing. She is such a bright light. We actually met at a business conference a few weeks ago, and I was just instantly drawn to her. She actually approached me because I was sitting off to the side of the dance floor, watching everybody dance, wanting to join in, but way too nervous. And she just grabbed my hand and she pulled me onto the dance floor and she was like, "Come on, I can tell you want to dance. Get over here." And as soon as I got to the dance floor, they changed the music, and it wasn't super dancey type of music. It was a little bit more rock and roll. So I was like, I don't really know what to do here. But anyway, let me introduce you to Mariel Wilk. Mariel is the founder of Abundance, where she helps women with subconscious reprogramming through dance and somatic embodiment. You will go from self-doubt to your power. Empower her. In this episode, we talk a lot about using play on words because, of course, I'm a word nerd. And as soon as I read her business title, which is Abundance, I was like, oh my gosh, I use that as well in my own business with telling my audience that they are going to become the authority. So author and then ity. I don't know if it comes through correctly in the episode, but I'll put it in the show notes. It's just another play on words, and we get really into that. Mariel does 2 guided meditations for us, which were so powerful for me in the moment, and I know you're going to get so much value from those meditations. So definitely follow along when she does this for me, because I know that you are going to get so much value from it like I did. So I want you to listen to this episode during a time where you can really focus on yourself, where you can be quiet, where you can sit. Don't listen to this episode while you're driving. Listen to this episode where you can give yourself space to do these guided meditations, because I promise you, you don't want to miss them. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping. First, with this episode, I have to apologize because you know that I'm Italian and I talk with my hands and I just can't help it. I bump my microphone a few times, so I apologize so much if you hear a loud thud. That's just me talking with my hands and being over animated. Also, my animals, my pets, were ready to eat when we did this recording, and my husband wasn't home to take care of that. So you're going to hear Athena, my dog, whining and crying and trying to get me to feed her. And at one point she interrupts Mariel, but Mariel is she's such a divine being. She was so gracious and forgave me. And of course, just thank you so much, Mariel. You're such an angel. You will probably also hear my cat Harley in the background also crying for me to feed her. So just please bear with me in this episode. Try to ignore those things. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick up too much. Okay, last thing. Doors are closing to Woo Woo Writers Workshop. It is your last chance to get into this cohort at the absolute lowest price I will ever offer this program, because it is brand new. So you're helping me, when you get into this program, you're helping me refine it and make it perfect for the next round. So you can get into Woo Woo Writers Workshop for just $5.97. That's way less than the price of an actual college course. It's delivered in a college course type of setting without the stress of grades. And the reason why I wanted to bring it to you in this format is because when I was getting my degree in English, my creative writing classes were so helpful when they were workshops. So we are going to be workshopping each other's manuscripts. You're going to work with a dedicated and assigned writing partner. I'm going to pair people up and we are going to workshop everybody's manuscripts as we are writing them. I'm holding your hand. This is something I do with my one-on-one clients, and it is even more valuable and helpful in a group setting because you're getting feedback from so many other people. It's so powerful. And you're also going to get a free daily planner that I deliver right to your house. You're going to get actual writing mechanical instructions. So I will teach you exactly how to write. You will learn exactly how to write a book that is focused on spiritual development, self-help, or spiritual development, whatever terms you want to use. If you are in the self-help, spiritual help space, then this program is for you. The link to get in is in the show notes. You have until Friday to get in. Okay, let's get into this week's episode. Hi, my name is Domenica Million, and I'm an author, writing expert, and author coach. And this is the first podcast dedicated to teaching spiritual development entrepreneurs how to use and apply spirituality, mindset, manifestation, and energetics to writing books in their niche. By writing books in your field of expertise, you establish yourself as an authority in your field, and that alone attracts high-paying clients, gets your inbox flooded with speaking gig requests, and creates more freedom and abundance in your life. Welcome to the Word Witch Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Word Witch Podcast. I am here with the beautiful, wonderful Mariel Wilk. And Mariel, am I saying that correctly? I want to make sure.
Mariel, but it's so okay because everyone will say that.
No. I am like such a stickler for people saying names correctly because my name has always been mispronounced. And so it's just names are really important to people. So I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so Mariel, why don't you go ahead and tell my audience exactly what you do, who you are, who you serve, and all the good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll say even speaking about names, right? Like we were given a name by a parent or, and maybe some of us wherever where you were at when you were born, but it's the idea of like, we are actually not even our names. Like we're a soul. We're here to dance through life. And so that is something that I do is or be, I should say, is embodying a abundance. And with that, I bring subconscious programming and connect it to dance somatic embodiment. And so that it provides you a space to get to really know at your core who in the world you are before the world told you who to be. And it's really a powerful thing that kind of tapped in for me and in my own journey, which I could, spend so much time going into it that I bet viewers would be like, oh my God, I feel seen. I get that. I've been that. I'm going through that. Right? As women, we have very similar things as well, and it can look a little different. But with all of that, I was always asking, like, can there be a better way? Can there be a different way? Can there be always just like, there has to be a better way, with traditional therapy or just ways about moving through things with self help and self care and all that. And it was just like, yeah, it came together with me. Every woman is a dancer. So even too, a subconscious thought is like, I'm not a dancer. I'm not this enough. I'm not that. I'm like, that's just the limiting beliefs crap in your mind. And everyone can do these things. And especially as women, being in our feminine, dance is such a beautiful way to express that. Even too, you could like learn all the tools and things to do and whatever, right? But like, or you just go dance and be around other women and celebrate them. And that's also in your feminine and all the different things. And even with subconscious reprogramming, it's being able to bring the two together. It's just more playful, it's more pleasurable, it's more fun. And you actually pick up things quicker when you're in play. That's why kids are like sponges because they get to just take in the world around them and they go off and do it. So I could teach a dance class or a dance segment of something to kids versus adults. And you will see the difference even just in how they pick it up and how they move through it because the kids don't actually care about being judged or like what it looks like or if they're doing it wrong or right, good or bad. Whereas, females are who I work with, right? That they have a lot of that chatter. And that's where it all started with this abundance that got that now the founder of is that um I started being in dance classes again and I loved getting back into dance. I had left it for a long time. I got really serious in life, again, the mental health stuff and the journeys with that. And I thank God, whatever, intuitive was like get back into dance and how it definitely reminded me who the heck I was. And just through that play and through that pleasure and through that connecting to my soul space. I think a lot of women think that dance is a way to connect to your body, but it's actually much deeper than that. It can be. I will say that you can definitely go to dance classes. I connect with my body. But again, I wanted more for myself and I want more for the women that I connect with to experience something much deeper and feel that freedom within it, feel that power within them and stop the limiting beliefs of self-doubt. So for me, moving from self-doubt to power is what I'm here to do. And I intend it for every woman that comes to my space. And you see the miracles, the manifestations occurring with these two modalities together because I was doing them separately, training in subconscious programming and going back into dance. And I was like, why is nobody bringing the two together? Like this is just, it just makes sense. But here's the thing for everyone listening to, it made sense to me. And so there are definitely going to be people that I come across that makes zero sense. Why would I ever do that? And actually at a soul level, I don't see the connection because I am not for everybody. But um, it is something that I always invite people, find something that makes sense to you. Like all we can do is get really quiet and listen to that intuition. Um, and even before we hopped on, because we were just like talking and it was so much fun. And we're like, oh wait, yeah, record a podcast. But even just seeing like those are like moments that we share that like it's like the intuition struck and the beautiful gifts and miracles that happen when you actually took out the noise of everything around you, the people around, the judgments, opinions, the wrong, right, good, bad that you've learned either from your family dynamic, your school systems, religion. I mean, the work that I do, all that stuff comes up, and we get to clear that and move that through. And then we get to play and dance and celebrate who the heck you really are. So, yeah, that's kind of an overview of what I do in different ways that I'm able to do that for women. It's just my ultimate soul calling purpose. And I'm so grateful to do that when I will say, when courageous women that are in leadership, definitely entrepreneurs, I notice a lot to attract because they're here to do really cool shit. I'm gonna cuss here, but and to remove all that stuff that's blocking them, in their database, they don't even realize it's slowing their system down. Like a computer, if all the tabs open, I know
Yeah.
they'll call out like, oh no, me, your computer
Oh my
runs slower.
God.
Not subconscious programming, right? It's all the different things that we don't even notice.
Yeah.
Is going on in the background that's actually stunning you from the absolute abundance, if that's in money, love, relationships, whatever, that's holding you back.
Oh my gosh. You just said so many things that I want to touch on. Um, okay, so the first thing is I love abundance because I also have a little play on words with what I do, which is to write to become the author, like oh,
Yeah.
I just the authority, but like author and itty.
Yes.
So the authority and isolate author. So I love that you did that because it's so clever. I'm such a word nerd, obviously. I'm the word witch. So um, that just makes me so happy. Um, Also, what I love, and this is probably because you and I are both former like dancers. I was technically trained from when I was 4 years old until I was probably about 17 or 18. And then I just kind of got out of it. I think I just, like you, life got in the way when I went away to college and, all of those typical things. And you forget, you lose that connection with dance and with your body. And man, it was not until I started holding women's circles about 2 or 3 years ago that I started to come back into dance and was like, oh man, I really miss this. And it really gets you back into your body. It grounds you down. And it allows you to just move freely because we don't, in a women's circle, I mean, you don't do anything technical. You're just kind of like free flow dancing and moving your body however your body wants to move. And it's so funny because you can see people when they first start, they're very awkward about it and they almost don't know what to do. And then after a few minutes, they start to realize, especially when they watch me, I think because I just let myself go and I'm like, I'm used to it, it gives them permission to also just let go and let it flow naturally.
Yeah, and what you just described, again, that's what I love this conversation because people will notice like what lands for them, and that's always so powerful. But words are spells, right? And I think dance is a
Yeah.
spell, and like all things in a beautiful way. And what you said is exactly it. Is that in that moment, if again the viewers want to close your eyes and see if someone is like they're feeling awkward as they're dancing, well, look how that's going to show up in their body because again they're
Mhm.
in their mind, they're in the thinking mind, and
Yep.
that's a subconscious thought of I'm awkward, which like where did that come from? Where did it come from that you even felt that? Because again, a kid's not going to be thinking about that before it was
No.
programmed. Whereas for you, what you said is, again, you've done it enough times, right? Programmed it enough that like you could just tap into, again, I wouldn't even say body, I would say like soul, where like it doesn't actually matter. You're not afraid of being judged by anybody because you're also comfortable with just like how you do it, how you do life, how you move through life. I always say, how you dance in life is how you are living your life. And so which your audience will get a really exciting freebie that'll literally change and shift something so quick into your power, and it's around the idea of like what do you think about in this certain situation. I'm all about giving someone experience, because again we can go to and I think there's so much potency in lectures, and like I'm not saying there's not in listening to someone, but I
Mhm.
just want you to experience it right now. So can we do a little quick exercise? Is that okay?
Oh my God, yes. I'm so
Okay,
excited.
cool.
Yes.
Cool. Even too, like I'm just like everyone that's listening, like thank you for showing up for you and listening because you're taking your sweet, sweet time, right, to do this. And so I'm like, I just intend it's beneficial for everybody listening. So go ahead and close your eyes, take a nice big deep breath in and exhale, think that we're release. And I want you to picture yourself dancing somewhere in, it could be in your space, home. It could be somewhere in nature. It could be out with friends at like an actual place that you want to go, like maybe this higher version of you would go dancing. It could be anywhere. It literally could be in your bathroom as you're brushing your teeth. It does not matter where you are. Pick a place that you see yourself eventually doing, maybe today, tomorrow, 5 years from now. Maybe you're like, Mariel, that's in a different timeline for me, like different universe. Like, fine. See yourself moving in a way that you are in a complete soul space. Maybe you see a color beaming from like the middle of your chest because you're not in your mind and your body's just moving so freely. And like there's just not a care in the world and it just feels so good. And just see her and witness her and notice that color that's exuding from her heart, like almost like heart chest area, and see that color getting bigger, brighter, and that everyone around her is feeling that. And if there's nobody around, just your space, your walls. And then can you now push that all the way out to the whole entire world, intending that they feel that same energy right, even right now in this moment. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to take a big deep breath in and see that color going through every cell of your body from the top of your head all the way to your toes. Deep breath in, exhale, and just see that color going all the way through every cell. And then thanking it, thank you, thank you, thank you, because your brilliant mind just created all of that, which is just so incredible to witness. And then taking your sweet time whenever you're ready, blinking the eyes open. Yeah,
Oh my
amazing.
God.
I don't know if you want to share like what any part of
Yeah.
that just the color, and even to your audience can share with you, or I'd love to hear. I love when people reach out. It is like it lights me up. So please do reach out to us of like what color, because also what I will say before I would love to hear about your experience is that when you share it, it grows, right? When you intend together, it grows. What you appreciate appreciates. And so a lot of women too are like, no, I don't need to share. Like that's playing small. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're here to play big. And so share it. Be like, this was my color and this is what I'm intending. This is what I saw. And then let other women celebrate you and be in spaces where they are going to, be familiar that that's your new normal is that women that want to hear and want to celebrate you and like start the people that you hear right now. Us too, I know are here to celebrate women. So but yeah, I'd love to hear for you what showed up and what color. So we can all, even the viewers intending, because when we celebrate other people, we are celebrating ourselves in return. And it's just like this big boom of energy of love that goes out into the world.
I couldn't agree more. I'm all about the share. So during my women's circles, we would all have sharing, where after a meditation, we'd all share what we saw. So this is so right up my alley. Okay, so I immediately saw myself. I have this big dream of having a writer's retreat in Sicily, because my family is Southern Italian. So I just feel really called to Southern Italy and Sicily. So I was holding my writer circle, and this is something that I have always planned and incorporating as like a movement type of uh, not lecture, but like a movement type segment of the retreat. So I saw myself in my sort of flowy dress, and I had like I had these like ankle bells on. I don't even know where that came from, but like these like little ankle bells, and I was just, dancing with my writer's retreat, my beautiful witchy ladies who came with me, who are going to come with me to Sicily. And my color was aqua blue, and I think it was because the background is the Tyrrhenian Sea. Um, that's what I saw. I saw the Tyrrhenian Sea behind me and just like the the buildings that are kind of like built into the mountains up there. Um, so I think that's where I pulled that color from. But blue is also my aura color, so I do tend to just always bring blue in for some reason. But yeah.
And blue's the color for me too, no shocker. Like totally, and even this year, I'm like, this is the color. It's like this like royal blue this year, but it's a blue. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
it.
So, and I'm gonna share this with you, but please, everyone listening, take it with what I'm gonna share, for your own experience of what it showed up. So what I would do is I'd invite you to, and one, think about if I would have gone through that and would have been like, okay, see the color green coming from your chest and see yourself in this place and see your like the magic of what you just created wouldn't have happened, right?
Mm.
And so because your mind, we don't even have to understand it. When you're like bells on your ankle, someone could be like, I don't get it, or I don't see it, or I don't like for
Yeah.
you, your deeper mind is like, yes, that makes sense to me. And even the blue, sometimes again, women that I work with, they're like, this color popped up, but I don't even like that color. That's like a weird color. That's like an ugly color. I'm like, notice your meaning about it, but whatever that color was is for this thing we're releasing and we're moving through, right? Bringing in or releasing. And so the idea is that you take and run with it because your deeper mind is like really attached to for whatever reason. It doesn't have to actually say it doesn't have to mean anything. But of course
Hmm.
you can also build upon like, oh, it's maybe blue because of this. Like if it's building it, do it. But you also can just be like, oh, it's that color, good. So if for anybody like a weird color, quote unquote, like came up, like it's okay. Like it doesn't have to mean anything. Um,
Yeah.
and so, and invite you and everyone else, of whatever showed up for you, if there was specific things like for you, again, like the ankle bells and that blue, right? That even for a moment, the next week, or once a month, you put in your phone to remind you, or I mean, you could even like, write about it, draw about it. I mean, just whatever, tap into a playful version of getting that, done for you of a reminder. I would say the remind her. I love, yeah, it's a play on words too. Absolutely my alley too. And and come back to it. So for you, coming back to it often, like closing your eyes and just seeing it, even if it could be one breath, you take two. I mean, who doesn't have 2 seconds to do this? Like, that's what I love. Efficient and effectiveness. I am all about. Like, I don't want to waste anyone's time. And so it's like just seeing you with the bells on your ankles and the blue, your mind already gets it. You don't have to like go do all these different, things and like it doesn't have to be so hard. Um,
Hmm.
and it's fun. It's fun to tap into that. And maybe even too, you actually bring that into the dancing piece where you actually put in a song you love and you close your eyes and you see yourself with the bells on your ankles and the blue and the you're at that place, you're at that state. Because again, if you bring the mind and body together in that way, you can tap into soul again through subconscious and the dance. It's like it's just it gets to be fun, it gets to be playful, it gets to be enjoyable. And anyway, again, as you can see, I geek out on all this stuff, but I
Yeah, no, I
value
love it.
community. But it's, I mean, that was incredible to experience that and witness that and celebrate you in that. And we can all be intending that for you and our own as well. And that's what I'm here to do is that you absolutely can have all your dreams and desires. And your mind had no idea that that wasn't actually happening right now. So as you experience
Right.
whatever you are doing right now, your mind thought in that moment it was doing it. That's why the biggest athletes and whatever, what do they do every day? They say meditate. What they're really doing is manifesting. They're really just stepping into like, okay, Michael Phelps, like I see myself getting the gold. I see myself like, I end it and they're like, Michael Phelps again, take it. Like
Yeah.
they practice this mental rehearsal. And so
Yep.
that's what this work is too, is just that mental rehearsal that gets to be fun and playful. Um, so yeah, super cool.
I have a question about that. Would you, there, I feel like there's two different camps when it comes to mental rehearsal. It's either you are watching it as if it's like a movie, or you're watching it through your own eyes. What do you think works best for you or for your clients, like the people who you serve? What tends to work better?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's a good question. I know that you're gonna love this because I know we are connected in this way too. But I I'm going to go back to what I said earlier is that do what makes sense to you because I am not here. And that's the thing too, like why you notice and will notice when you're, and again, if you're in a dance class or if I were to even even notice right now, if I said freestyle, like
Hmm.
as someone that either dances, doesn't dance. I mean, I know top-notch dancers and they still are too afraid to freestyle or they get scared still, even if they're doing it. So it's because it's the freedom to be you and to do it your way. And so
Hmm.
when I connect with women, I want you to be doing freestyle because again, it's such a school system thing. Do it, 1 + 1 = 2. Well, you know what? Today I want to make it 3.
Yeah.
Let's and so you can't do it wrong or right. And so I think that like whichever one makes more sense to you
Hmm.
if you
Yeah.
like doing it from your eyes, do it. If you or maybe if you just see, well, what had happened? Like where did your mind, how did it create that? Was it from what perspective? That's a cool thing to think about now. Like what perspective was I doing that from? Um, but so that would be my first thing. And then I will say as well, people that are connected or know about or want to dive deeper into human design to know, we know about, that can give you some roadmap there as well. And in a program that I lead through this, I do incorporate that because you can tap into that to make it again more playful. Because again, everyone's different. Everyone's so different and designed differently that like I just invite you to, if you're thinking that like one way is the way, like I really invite you to keep challenging that. I've gone through my journey around like even the idea around food and nutrition and it's like if you spend time, which I did, diving so deeply into that, of like I want to figure out the truth. I want to know it got me more lost than ever. It got me more lost than ever because you will find an opposing thought to anything. And
That's true.
when you realize that, it cancels everything out. It cancels everything out. And so at a point where what would you be doing if no one told you how to do something? If no one told you how to eat, how would you eat? How does soul level? What does your body want? Because we're all designed differently to what we're even supposed to be ingesting, you
Hmm.
know? It with information, but also with nutrients as well. And so when you look at it that way in that lens, and none of it actually matters, you get more intuitive and you check in with what is actually matters to me.
Yeah.
What food do I actually want to put into my body? What dance class do I want to actually go to? It not because of based off of external validation or like a gold star. Again, that was school system stuff that we learned, right? That like the A+ means that you're good and the F means you're bad. Whereas the F actually could have meant you actually don't really give a shit about what you were learning,
Yeah.
and it wasn't exciting you, and that was on the teacher. Like it's
Yeah.
it's ways of thinking that again you're gonna hear throughout this conversation because all the subconscious stuff that I shift because it's getting in the way of your absolute potent power.
Hmm.
So whatever, I guess the short answer, if all that was just gibberish to someone, what makes you feel more powerful?
Uh-huh.
What makes you feel more powerful? And get into the feeling of it.
Hmm.
Get into the feeling of it.
I love that because I asked because our one of our mentors, Catherine, she says in one of her visualizations, and I'm a certified guided meditation teacher, um, YTT certified and all of that. And she says in one of our meditations to view your thing that you're trying to manifest through your own eyes, and then take a step outside your body and view it as if it's a movie screen. And I've always had a really difficult time viewing the scene happening through my own eyes. I always have an easier time seeing it as if I'm a third person. And sometimes I feel like, oh, is my manifestation not going to come true because I can't really grasp it through my own eyes? Or is it fine and natural and that it's going to happen no matter what? And I feel like I've manifested things through third person lens anyway. So I guess I just answered my own question, but you definitely that helps.
But I'm so glad you shared it because someone's hearing this right now going like, oh my God, I get you because I'm the same way. And then that's what's so
Yeah.
powerful about, again, like us connecting this way because that would be like a teacher saying, do it this way. And then, again, F, you get an F because you
Hmm.
weren't able. And it's such a system. It's such a program, such a condition.
Yeah.
Whereas actually what occurred is that you got clarity on what's working for you and you go, I'm going to step into that energy and just do more of that. And I got to learn something about me that doesn't work for me like that. Because I think I mean, even as you spoke, I had this big, deep breath in and out. And it was just like the permission slip. Like right
Mhm.
now, you just gave yourself the permission slip of like,
Yeah.
I can do it my way. Like that's what all this work is about, is your abundance, is you doing things that feel good to have done for you and that no one else gets to decide that. Because even if there's some huge, I don't know, celebrity or big like I don't even know, monk or, spiritual leader of the top, and they're like, you need to do it this way. I don't find that useful because
Mhm.
also a lot of people are speaking from their own experience, right? Or speaking from just, again, they could be also obviously getting like some kind of download channeling, all that kind of stuff too. But at the end of the day, one of my favorite phrases is that, it's not the finger pointing to the moon, it's the moon. You are the moon.
Mhm.
Anytime you look at the moon, like it's a reminder of who you are. The moon is shining so brightly. The moon's not worried about what's happening around it, right? The moon keeps shining every single day and every moment. And even too, as it's blocked and goes away and it doesn't go away, right? But we don't see it the same. It's a different perspective. It's not concerned about like how it's mooning, you know?
Mhm.
And so many times, so yeah, I like that, like mooning someone. Go moon someone. Just to get that program right. But so many times we look at fingers that are pointing to the moon. That's why for me in my work, I'm never about like, listen to me, listen to me. It's what happens from you through you,
Mhm.
what I'm saying, because, who am I to dictate what you should be doing in your life?
Right.
You know
Right.
best. Know thyself, right? That's a big thing. Know thyself. It's so simple. We complex things so often.
Mhm.
Simplify it. What do I desire? And if you go, I don't know. It's your invitation of get quiet. Get more quiet. They say, I don't know. I don't have time for 15 minutes of meditation a day. And people will say, then meditate for an hour.
Mhm. Yep.
When you say you don't have time or something, we'll make more time for it, right?
Yes.
And it's the idea too, women that will be like, well, I want to make more time for dancing and more time for play. I'm like, well, I offer a space for that. It's like, but are you going to show up?
Right.
That's what I'm saying is your viewers listening right now. It's like, thank you because you're showing up to listen to this. So you can sure show up for 2 minutes of visualizing or dancing or, what's your self-worth? What's your,
Mhm.
what's your self-image of yourself first? Because that's going to be over pour, right? We're both in our soul pull work because we've shown up for ourselves time and time again, even when it was hard, even when, right? It's like you learned all these things. Your message is your message. And you get to tap into that desire and do it your way. What gets you stuck? And if
Yeah.
you guys were hearing it, because she could have been like, oh, I can't do it that way. Oh, then just screw all of it. And then it would stop you. Or just, I won't manifest because, and we're always manifesting, if it's more what we're manifesting. But,
Right.
if you had that belief right there that came in, that little sneaker of like, well, then
Mhm.
maybe I can't, and you caught yourself, but I've done it this way and done it that way. And you just show yourself proof, the data when you've done it. And you come back to that every time.
That's so interesting. And I want to come back to something that you had said about not knowing what to do, or when somebody is like, well, I don't know what my dreams are. I don't know what I want to manifest. And something that you've also been kind of reiterating with that is that in school, we're told what to do. Our whole lives, we're drilled every single day. This is what you have to do. You wake up in the morning, you have to be on the bus by 7 o'clock, and then you have to be in your homeroom by 7:35. And then your entire day is scheduled out for you from the time that you are in kindergarten to when you graduate high school and even into college and further, even at work. Like we have to be at work at a certain time. And we're never given the space to explore what it is that we really want. I remember when I was in high school, deciding what I wanted to do after high school. My dream was to go to art school. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to draw and paint and write and all of the things. And my mom said, "What are you going to do with an art degree? You know, people don't make money with art, you know, that whole thing," which I'm sure many of my listeners have heard that before. And so I didn't. I went to college. I became a communications major. I dropped out of college after my first year because it wasn't fulfilling me in the artistic way that I wanted to express. So then I became a hairstylist and I did that for 10 years. And then I went back to college during that time, and started to explore becoming a writer again. And it was like for the first time when I decided, no, I'm not listening to what other people are saying that I should be doing with my life. I'm going to pursue this because this is what I want and this is what has been calling my soul from when I was in fourth grade. From the first time I ever wrote a book report, I knew I wanted to be a writer. And I did it. And I finally allowed myself, and I think that it was because around the same time I was starting to do like my big spiritual work. I'd been like dabbling in witchcraft and stuff from when I was like 19, and then got into like a bad relationship and all of this stuff. Life just happened. But then I started to really come into my spiritual awakening when I was around like 27. And after that, I was just like, my soul, I just feel like something more is possible for me. And I need to follow what it was I wanted to do when I was a child. Because one of the things, and I'm sure you've heard this too, when you're struggling or when you're feeling disconnected with yourself to, heal that inner child and to figure out what it was. I think Mel Robbins said this once. Figure out what it was that you used to do as a child and go do that thing. So I used to write as a kid. I used to love writing and I used to dance. So I kind of did the same thing like simultaneously. I started holding women's circles and dancing in my women's circles, and I started to get into yoga and like all of these things where I was being more embodied and more grounded and really nurturing that creativity in myself. Um, and so I guess all of that just to say, once we start to break down what we've been told was right and what we've been told is what we're supposed to be doing with our lives, and we reject that and we start to actually come into, the dreams that we had when we were younger, and the things that people told us we weren't going to be successful at, or, whatever that is when true healing and true success and true um wealth, like life, like not maybe not like monetary wealth, but wealth of your life, like how your relationships end up evolving or changing, and just every area of your life starts to really open up and change when you start to accept those things about yourself that you'd always dreamt of doing and never allowed yourself because of society.
Oh my God, so many and okay, I have so many things that came in, and one of them is that think about that comment made um about not being, yeah, in the arts and author, and right, that can dictate again, that could be a subconscious thing that is then connected to every move you make and avoiding it even though your soul is pulling to it, and that you
Mhm.
broke through that belief and it wasn't even yours, right?
Yep.
And and we don't ever blame anybody else. It was an invitation to, am I gonna come back to that one day? Am I gonna, that like and you're such a definition of like really again connecting to hearing that inner, I say whisper, There's the word her and whisper. Uh,
I love
yeah, yeah, and being able to, you just, you heard it more, and it's so interesting because that is again like people don't think. I'll work with women, they'll be like, no, I feel pretty clear on that thing that happened in my life or that or that or that. And again, I tap into intuition and it's like, let's explore that. And what I mean by explore is I don't do the whole like go into like your pain and all that stuff. We really move and shift things forward. It's hard to explain it, without experiencing it, of course, but and that woman will be like, oh, there was still
it.
stuff that, like it can be layered a bit. But with that being said, it's just so cool to see you made that shift from a comment that was made because it can be one comment that is occurring in your life that shifts the totality of your life. I mean, even too, for me in a dance class, what I didn't even realize, again, it was uncovered through other stuff that, a ballet teacher, and I'm feeling called to share this, so I think it'll resonate with somebody here, that a ballet teacher told me to suck in my belly more. And I'd already sucked it in
Yeah.
that show, little Mariel, that
Yeah.
like I wasn't good enough or that like something's wrong with my stomach and it can be one thought, that one comment, one thing experience that you're not realizing again is in your program processor for so long. And it just this work is just so profound in that way because you are so much more than that. You're so much more than your body, your mind, and when you get that and you get to just again dance through life, literally, metaphorically, it gets to be better and more things come in. Like what you're saying is like wealth, health, all the things just start flowing in because you start being able to know what you desire and then you do those things that feel good to have done. Like it all connects back and exactly what you had shared. It's so funny because two things I'll share real quick is one, I just was working with a woman one-on-one with the I don't know thing. I think a lot of us experience that I don't know. And that's a perfect example of like you're so like, well, what's the response? Well, like, you should know. Well, no, you shouldn't actually. Every
Yeah.
day we don't know what's going to happen. Every day. And isn't that the beautiful miracle of every day? Like, and so even me and her had done some work around that, again, with dance embodiment, with subconscious mind, and what it brought up for her, that leaving that session together, right, was just like this. I mean, we were laughing, dancing, and it could laugh as a subconscious response. And it didn't, we disconnected that core. We disconnected that thing in the mind that actually was holding her back,
Mhm.
because it made it mean so much. And so that even that, I invite everyone that word, that phrase that I don't know, I invite you to like, how can you soften into that?
Mhm.
A little kid coming up to you being like, I don't know. And it like,
Yeah.
would you be like, well, you should know. And again, like you said, school systems, well, you should know 1 + 1 = 2. And so
Yep.
you're hand fed these things that like when it comes time to actually just sit and like know from you from a deeper knowing, we were never taught that to learn that, and you discovered that. And it was just so beautiful to hear that in your journey. And I thought we could maybe, I know we might be wrapping up soon, but maybe do one more invitation because this one came in late last night to do for a group that I'm hosting this weekend. Um, and you had actually touched on it. So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like literally we're so synchronistic right now.
Synchronicities.
So I thought we could tap into one more. Can we do that one
Yeah,
more? Hi.
absolutely.
So you guys are getting it fresh because literally it tapped in last night. So go ahead and take a big deep breath in. Exhale, release. And in a moment, you're going to witness that 5-year-old you, anywhere between 5 and 7. And if it's a little bit older or younger, doesn't matter. You can't mess it up. And just witness her. She's in her play. She's in her presence. She's in her power. What is something that she's doing that she just enjoyed doing just for the heck of it? Just because it made her smile, made her feel good. That time would pass and it's just like, oh, and just witness her in that for a moment and just celebrate her for that in a moment and just how she was doing something so intuitive that felt good to her because she discovered it and she was like, oh, this is so fun. This is so good. This lights me up to do this, to be in this energy of joy. And just the mere presence of doing that. And maybe if it feels useful for you right now to go and visit her and actually go up to her and say something to her, maybe it's a thank you for her actually making time for that. Or maybe she has a message for you, or you're going to say a message to her, like keep going, or bring more of that back, or just notice whatever message comes from her or you, but her eyes are wide open and taking in whatever is happening, either her speaking or you speaking to her. Maybe you're both in silence or hug, or just take a moment, whatever shows up. Now I want you to go ahead and see that color spiral that came up earlier, that color from your chest, but now it's spiraling around you and her. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're like a magician. Whoa. And she's so impressed with you. And you're just looking at her in such awe. And see that color swirling and swirling and swirling. And in a moment, there's going to be an animal that shows up next to you and her. And notice that animal. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. And whenever you're ready, taking again your time, again, you can say, see you soon to her. You can hug her. You can high five her. You can dance with her real quick. And you'll remind her that you're going to visit again. She doesn't have to worry. And just see her face, how lit up she is to see you right now, having survived all the different things that you went through, all the years, that you're such a badass just by being you. And maybe she's inviting you to play more. That's the collective message right now. Play more. And one more time, see that color, see that animal. Deep breath in. Exhale, releases the whole body. And taking your sweet time, blinking the eyes open when you're ready. That's it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why why inner child is so powerful, but I just got so many downloads and so many messages. Okay, let me get them out before I forget. Okay, so I saw myself when I was around 5 or 6, and
And I
I
will,
had
can I say really quick? Can I say
yeah,
really,
yeah.
really quick? I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
if someone that's listening, if you are in your downloads right now, pause this podcast and go, yeah, journal about it, write about it, step into the energy of it. If anything ahas have come from it, go do that first. And then yeah, come back and hear this magic. And again, we intend together. So I think I just wanted to share that to be, yeah, perfect to give you
Yeah,
space when you needed it. Or you want to listen and then go do it later. Again, no wrong way to do this, but totally invitation of like pause and like go, kind of make space for whatever came up for you. It's
I'm
powerful
so
stuff.
glad that you said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I always tell people to write down what they saw, heard, felt, all of the messages that came through as soon as we finish. Um, okay, so I was in this, there's a photo of me, and I remember this outfit very vividly. It was like this little jean skirt, like poodle skirt, and it had like red sequins around the edge of it, and it had like a little poodle that was fuzzy, and it was just like the cutest little outfit. And so I always, for some reason, I remember this outfit, and I was that age, and I was in that dress, and I was playing Barbies. I was a huge Barbie fan. And so she was sitting down playing Barbies, and the message that I got was, you've been telling stories with your Barbies and with your imagination your entire life. You've always been a storyteller. You've told stories with these dolls, and then you started to tell stories on paper. And uh,
Mm.
so
Yeah, let it come. Let it, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
So my last episode, I talked about how I channel Archangel Metatron. And during our when we were at this event called BBD Live, we did a spoon bending meditation. During that meditation, Archangel Metatron came to me, and the message, and it's so crazy that it's coming back to this. The message was to play as if you are a child. And he said to me, he said, look around you. All of these people are just 8-year-old children just having fun and playing. And I opened my eyes and there were people just like dancing. There were people moving, doing whatever felt right for them. And he was like, these are all your friends. Like they're just all your friends and you're just playing with each other. And all you need to do is play pretend. If you want to be anything that you want to be. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a CEO, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be anything, just play pretend. Now, obviously, that comes with a caveat. It's like you have to get licenses and stuff. But if that's what you want to be here in this lifetime, your avatar is here just to play pretend. It's to be the thing that you wanted to come to this earth plane to be in this lifetime. There's no right or wrong. If you end up being a janitor, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nobody saying that that's the wrong choice for you. Whatever it is that you want to do, just play pretend, just play. And he said, and we've probably always have heard this, that light or earth is a school for the soul. And he said, and now it's time for recess. So go play and have fun.
Mm. The more you
And
can tap into that energy, right? That and again, think of as women. Well, but then how are the bills going to be paid? How It's not the
mhm,
how. It's to make the time and space. If it means 1 minute a day to tap into that version of you, tap in, go visit that little girl just now, right? Often go visit her and say, just say a quick, even hi. Like,
yeah,
how often do we do that? And again, if this activation felt good for you, like then come back to it often, right? Like this is
yeah,
this this is powerful stuff to tap into the magic that is you. As a kid, you were manifesting incredible things all the time, but you didn't really realize it or recognize or
no,
call it
yeah,
that. And all we're here to do is to get back to that version of you before the world told you who to be. Again, it all comes back around, and that you get to open from that space and play. And yes, that's why again dance is so powerful way. Again, the tool, writing, I mean, whatever it is, right? Like, what is your play? And that's the huge invitation. A good way to wrap up is what is not that's the part of this activation, it's not fully complete, is that whatever that thing was that she was doing in her play,
hmm
how can you bring that in to your life right now? And without the excuses, because you could do that thing for 1 minute a day, or you could do that thing for 1 minute once a week or once
yeah,
a month. But
yeah,
do it consistently in some way where you, for me, like I dance every day in my space because it brings me so much joy.
yeah,
Not because it's doing anything besides I'm in my play, I'm in my presence, and my power. And the invitation was whatever showed up for you. Again, perfect example of why I'm not going to go tell you to dance every day. That works
hmm
for me. But what was that thing? If it was painting, drawing, writing, playing with Barbies, go buy a Barbie today and go play with it once a
yeah,
day for a minute. Like it might sound so ridiculous. That's the thing I want you to do. Whatever the thing, most thing that sounds ridiculous to you, go do it.
hmm
Because why not? We are here to experience the miracles of life. And
hmm
life just wants you to be in your joy and play. Because here's the thing, when you are, you inspire other people to be. And you literally change the energy of the world. People feel it around you. You'll hear that. I mean, I'm so grateful to be in a space. It's not about me. The work that I do is not about me. It's so beyond me. But when people say you have such good energy, or like, oh, thank you, like your energy you brought, or whatever, it's like because I show up for myself first, right? That's such a condition that we haven't learned as women a lot, is that we do that. It's a
we're not
threat.
allowed to.
It's not allowed. Yeah, because someone somewhere told you,
hmm
right? To be the nice girl versus like
hmm
be kind. Well, kindness starts with you. Fill up
Right.
the cup first and then go help other people. But we've learned that there's like some badge of honor to like, well, I feel like crap and I have no gas. I mean, you would not go drive a car that has no gas in it. That makes no sense. Whereas
hmm
around, that's exactly what's happening. People with their head cut off, doing all those things to be validated outside or to get the pat on the back or to feel good enough or to all these kinds of programs that I love to just clear for you so that you can actually go live the life you want. So if you're like, I don't know what I want, you start with that subconscious stuff. That's how I got to what I do. The subconscious work changed my reality and changed my life. So someone's here to hear that. I think multiple people are here to hear that on this call. So it's so powerful. And thank you for being a mirror of that too for you and your community because you've done that work and you continue. And again, we also know the work's never done.
It's never done. I'm still learning. I don't know, and I will be the first one to tell you, I don't know most things about the spiritual and woo-woo and also about writing. Like I'm still learning, even though I'm a professional copy editor and this is my job and I write every single day. I write stories, I write on a daily basis. And I still don't know it all and I still get it wrong and it's okay because nobody, I don't care if you have a PhD, you don't know all of it. Nobody will ever know all of it. And man, I love the embodiment of that, of like, it's okay not to know, and it's okay not to have the answers. It's okay not to know what you want. It's okay not to know every single thing about the thing that you want to do if you do eventually figure out what it is that you do want. And for everybody to give each other space to not know all the answers.
Mhm.
If somebody comes to one of your classes, they might have an issue come up and you might not know or have ever experienced what they had gone through. But if you can help them work through it and as a team, and two brains are always better than one, right? So if you're bouncing ideas off of each other and you're just being in community and you're helping and hopefully energizing each other and filling each other up, I mean, a community is the biggest accelerator to your dreams, I feel like. And it's one of the pillars of my program, the Woo Woo Writers Workshop is accountability. And accountability because of community, because we get to bounce ideas off of each other. We get to experience the learning together and the knowing and becoming better together. Um, I have no idea where I was going with that, but
I mean, well, and come right. The word play on words, community, right? Look at the word
yes.
as one because I always one thing I love to share is yeah, it could be a good closer of this is that the women around you are mirrors of you, right? And so it's so cool to see the people that, I do a live in person abundance and every woman that's there, I always say you are a mirror of the other women here. So again, that's why you celebrate them, the heck out of them. You're celebrating you. Even their stuff, you'll share, and you see in women's circles too, right? People are nodding their heads as people are telling them about their stuff. It's like we all like, we're all here, we're all connected, and we get to intend and grow together and move through things and create the life that we desire one
Mhm.
baby step at a time, right? A baby is not thinking about walking yet before it has even crawled. And so you just take it because, yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Like, we didn't know how to crawl. Maybe now we know how to walk. Could we fly one day? I don't, like, but we haven't learned it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, and it's okay. Like what you said too, the invitation is maybe you takes a 5 minute period of time, set a timer and meditate on this phrase, I don't know. And
Mm.
I invite you to see that version of you by the end of it. You're like, almost, it feels kind of like sexy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. No, I don't like change the relationship with those little silly words. They're just words on a string of words,
Yeah.
And that can be an invitation as well. Again, I want to give some like hands-on things that people can take from this, but what a powerful conversation. And really all of it is just tapping into the power of you. You are the magician, right? The imagination, the word magic is an imagination. You are the magic, you're the magician. And
Yes.
you just get to remind her over and over again that she is the power. She is the power, right? No more of the self-doubt stuff. Step into your power and find a way that makes sense to you
Sorry,
to go.
that's my dog.
That's okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, everything that you just said, yes, 1,000%, 1,000 times over. We are all just here walking each other home, right? And I think that writing down and this is one of the things that I kind of wanted to like talk to you about was using the mind body spirit connection to embody dance. So like how I always tell my clients and my audience that When you are writing physically, you are a channel. You are channeling divine consciousness. At least that's my opinion. Um, you're channeling divine consciousness. You're tapping into the collective consciousness, whatever needs to be, whatever story needs to be told and plucked out of the ether is put on your plate for a reason. And when you're actively writing, you are channeling. Do you feel a similar sentiment when it comes to dance?
Absolutely. And again, why I also love when we can connect, because again, whatever words are going to be hitting for people, take and run with it. I would wrap all that up into a single word.
Hmm.
That word is presence.
Mm,
When you can be in presence, you are a clear channel to your intuition. You are seeing the miracles around you. And again, no wonder that it's a whole other conversation about like our mental health and anxiety and depression and all these things are skyrocketing because we've forgotten how to be present. Because all the other chatter of the mind of fear can't live in presence. That's why if you look at animals in the wild, they're just incredible creatures and they don't remember when something happens. If you asked a bunny and it was being chased by a coyote after it got chased, and you'd go up to
mm,
it and be like, are you okay? Like, was that scary? They'd be like, what are you talking about? They don't remember it. They're so present that
yeah.
the next thing they move to the next thing. Your dog, a wild dog, or like if you ask like, how was your breakfast? They're like, they don't remember. And
Right.
our minds are so beautiful. It's great that we have memories, but sometimes, it's probably better not to remember some things, right? Or to have a
Mhm.
different relationship to it. Just like I gave that phrase, right? I don't know. You might have had a really uncomfortable relationship with that stream of words, and maybe now it could be different. Uh,
Yeah.
and so to answer your question, yes, it's how I feel about it, but I would make it so much more because again, our minds can do so much complexity. I would just say you get into your presence because
Mm,
in that place is your play, is your power. That's why really for me, it's helping women accept their power because it's your presence power. It's a P word. It's presence, power, purpose,
yeah.
potential,
Oh,
pleasure. I mean, how many people, to tap, I mean, ladies, tap into your pleasure. Like it's there.
yes, please.
For you, from you. That's a manifestation tool
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And in my programs, I talk about that as well. And so it's just, there's so many ways to tap into it, but all of it, the basic
Mm.
of it is your presence. Your
Um,
presence. Fear, anxiety, depression. Anxiety is you worrying about the future, and depression is you think is bringing up past. And so when we can get more clear and free in the mind and then move to the body, you are more present, you are more clear, you are more free, and you are in your power, and you get to do the cool things that you want to go do in life.
oh my gosh, you are speaking the truth. I have full body chills. Like that was divinely channeled. Like that was beautiful. I couldn't agree more. And yes, please. Okay, so using that phrase, I don't know. I'm inviting you listeners to write that phrase down because we are all about automatic writing. Write that phrase down, and then I want you to just allow stream of consciousness come onto the page and see what happens. Just see where it takes you. You don't have to have any rules with it. Just let it flow.
Mm. Yes, let it flow, let it flow. Yes. And I want to tag on that. I'm like, I have chills about that exercise. And we want to hear about it. We want to hear about how that goes
Yeah.
for you, what shows up for you. And I would say at the very end of that, if it feels useful,
Mm-hmm.
pick a favorite song, maybe from childhood or right now, or pull up a random song in your car radio or whatever, and then
Yes.
dance in the releasing of that.
Yes. Ah,
Tag neither
so
together if it
powerful.
feels useful, or do one and not the other. Because again, fuck around. Like we're
Yeah.
not I'm just giving you an invitation. When I
Yeah.
teach women ways of thinking and connected to the dance, right? It's try it on like a jacket. You don't have to leave the store buying the jacket. Just try on the jacket, walk around the store a little bit. Is it comfortable? Does it itch? Is that tag annoying me? Is that color looking good, making me pop? Like there's no threat to just trying it on.
I
And
love that.
you can decide, I want to, well, no, I don't want the jacket. I wanted that other shirt. And then you leave the jacket there. Like you can't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the I don't know fear is that you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
Really, the last thing, the last thing I know about this,
No.
sharing, but this is so potent, is that your mind, where there's fear, the thought of the mind, this is really powerful. So we're really like listening if you were like kind of like sidetracked, our minds can go. Um, but really hear this is that your deeper mind if anytime you're feeling fear, your deeper mind is actually saying, I might die.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand that, so those of you that deal with anxiety, I mean, I've been, oh my gosh, so much of my life I identify with that, which I also help women through as well. And it's that there actually is no threat. There's no
Mm-hmm.
threat because you're not dead right now. So
Right.
I might, because really, if they're like, I don't want to step into a dance class, or I don't want to learn how to dance, like, and it could be anything, right, or anything. There's a deeper mind threat of like, because that might mean that I might die from embarrassment, from judgment, from opinions, from not being able to actually be successful at that. Your
Mm-hmm.
mind's going, yeah, because you could die.
Yep.
So you get that. That's, I think, just like a really good thing to land on because it's a mic drop of the mind. It really is. I mean, even
Mm-hmm.
see you close your eyes right now and just see like mic drop, like the mic's dropping of like, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. So
Yeah.
take this activity, go do it, whichever way you want, make it your own, draw outside the lines. I always love that too. Like you don't need to draw inside the lines with this stuff. Draw outside the lines, make it your
Mm-hmm.
own, and then show your mind that you survived it and that even if it was good for you, it didn't do much for you, doesn't matter. But show your
Yeah.
mind that you went through with it and did it your own way.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Uh, Marielle, I can talk to you all day
Right?
and all
Maybe
night.
we'll
And
do another one soon too. And I mean, again, I'd love to hear how this lands for everybody. And I just hope that
yes.
there's some nuggets of usefulness and that you take the time to listen to her and her whisper is really, really a big one with all this too. Seven to
Yes.
your power.
Yes, please, and let us know how it went. You can email me at hello@wordwitchcc.com. We will also link all of Marielle's things, her freebie. Do you want to mention your freebie below?
Sure. Yeah. 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 And even too, depending on when you're listening to this, one, there's a freebie that has so much, it's 3 minutes that will change and shift your life into your power. And there's bonuses on there as well. I just love spoiling my community. So
Yeah.
there's
Hmm.
real, and again, are you going to take the time for it? You know, why or why not? You get to decide that narrative. And also two, it's currently the beginning of January, January 3rd. But mid-January, I'm doing a free 3-day abundance challenge. So if you've enjoyed kind of what you've been moving through with this podcast today, come join it, and it'll be connected to community as well. So it'll be really powerful. So again, all about the community, and really excited about that as well. And then two, I feel one, this is what I'm going to say, is one person in your community that messages me, DMs me on Instagram at mindfulness with Marielle is going to get let's just leave it at this, a big discount on my foundational program called Energy. So again, another play on words. And it's all about your energy. It's shifting your energy into your power from self-doubt. And so it provides you a secret podcast
Hmm.
where, again, so it's so easy, efficient, effective to get you to get these things done, where it's going to clear deeper mind stuff, and then it's going to show you how to move it into your body, into your play, into your pleasure. And it's, again, super easy to do at your own time, and is just like I say, my abundance class on crack. For
Ah,
So if someone's feeling activated, like I want in on this, like that's my most potent
yeah.
program. And one person that reaches out to me and shares about their experience today on the podcast, I will be offering a huge discount to my program because woman knows when they're ready. It's just like it's
Yeah.
just taking that leap,
Yeah.
and someone's gonna feel that and be like, wait, I want this. So
Yeah.
I will open up to that. That felt really intuitive to offer for some lucky human to experience this, because I just care so deeply about you being in your power, living your dream, because that's what we're here to do. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That's
so many
so
ways to work
generous.
with me and connect with me. So please, experience the moving meditation, that the freebie with bonuses. If you want to do the program that's coming, or the challenge that's coming up, I'd love to have you. It's gonna be super exciting. And then to my program, if you're like, no, I want to go in. I want to go in. Let's go. One lucky person is going to experience a huge discount on that program.
Oh my gosh, Marielle, that is so generous of you. Thank you so much. You are an earth angel. Where can everybody connect with you?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm just a mirror of you, truly, truly. And everyone listening, like you're listening to this for a reason. I always say, like, when things pop up in your world, it's like just take note, like, right? Um,
Yes.
so you can email me at mindfulnesswithmariel@gmail.com. So that's mindfulness and then Mariel, Mariel. You can also, again, on Instagram, you can message me mindfulness with Mariel. keep it simple, all the things. And there again, you'll find more information. And again, like I said, I really do. I give the invitation, be courageous. So I'll tell people like, message me, tell me about your experience. They're like, okay, yeah, I will. Stick to it. Like if you're like, I'm gonna go do that, go do it, right? The integrity of you, right? So I will be, and for a few of you, I might do like an intuitive, share about something that comes in. So you never know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
when you show up for you. So message me, say hello, and let's connect. And there's never any pressure from me because a woman knows what she wants. She really does. And I don't do anything from pressure. I only do it from pleasure. And so let's have a conversation. Let's get you more free and clear. And again, I have so many offerings and ways of doing that. I like to make it transformational for you with what you're, in this season of your life, what that can look like for you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. I adore you, and I will definitely be having you back on. Um, Thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for giving us your generous offers and your time, and it's such a gift. So I will see you all in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Come follow us on social media at our handle at WordWitchCC. That's WordWitch, C for copy, C for consulting, and don't forget to hit subscribe to keep the magic flowing. See you in the next episode.